The smell of a warm coconut candle, sipping mint tea, and talking to you. What other setting do I need right now? What? Welcome back to the Save the Girl podcast, everybody. I am your host, Erica E. And for those who don't know me, now you do. And now you're going to be hooked and you're going to come back every week. And I'm going to love you for that because I have space for you in VIP. And you are now listening to your first luxury listening experience. So, what do I mean by VIP? When you go to SaveTheGirl.com, you put in your email address, you are going to get wonderful newsletters beautifully crafted by me. And I want to make sure that you also get the bomb visuals on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and on Threads. So be sure to follow Save the Good Girl on those platforms as well. Currently, right now, you are listening to the SOE edition. What is the SOE edition? What does that stand for? Is it state of the emergency? I mean, honestly, it could be. But SOE stands for Shot of Erica. And what that means is just like your shot of green juice, tequila, and espresso, it gets you exactly where you need to be in a short period of time. I do the exact same thing, but for your mind. These episodes are no more than 20 minutes, so it's perfect for a quick break, a quick pick-me-up. When you're in between and you're driving and you're chilling in your home, it's the perfect thing to listen to. Just something fun and light, and it's me and it's you. Like, it's just going to be great. So, y'all, I have been thinking about priorities, right? And I was having a conversation with someone and I was like, you're not a priority. Like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm very blunt when I give advice to my friends. I'm just having regular conversations. And I thought about how, that saying, you make time for what you want, right? You make time for what you want. So let me tell you how I used to be. I am a person that was very even with all of my relationships with people. If I have a relationship with you, I would treat you the same as I would the next friend or etc., right? Very even. I was always reaching out. When are you free? Let's hang out. Let's do this. Let's do that. Da 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 da. I was always the one to do that. I always call. I do not like to text. So that's why I have the VCC. VCC stands for Voice Note Community. So there are people that I talk to on voice notes all the time. It works for us. I love voice notes because I get a chance to say what I have to say real quick, and you could respond whenever you want, and I could respond whenever I want, and it just keeps the relationship going. Like, there are certain people, our relationships have actually gotten stronger due to voice notes, Then I have people I talk to on the phone, then I have people I text here and there. So it depends on the person, the communication could vary. However, I used to be that person to always play out my planner. When people say, oh, we should chill, I would take out my planner and I'm like, okay, when? What day? What time? Like, I'm very, very direct when it comes to that. And I realize that people love to do that. And one of the things that I cannot stand, y'all, is let's play it by ear. Because guess what's going to happen when you say that? When you say let's play it by ear, unless you have a date confirmed, I might not see you until next year because life is happening. We are growing into adulthood. There's so many things going on. It's just a lot. But people do make time for what they want. And that's not a statement just for dating. I do believe in dating. Can I just say this real quick? I don't think dating is that difficult in terms of the theme of it. I think that dating requires you to do two things: communicate and physical interaction. And if that's not happening, there could be many reasons. I don't want to go into all of them. It could be many reasons, but maybe the person is not feeling you like that because we are on our phones 24/7. We have access to so many ways to communicate. So just at this point, it's like, there's not really a strong excuse, right? However, when it comes to other relationships, family, friends, etc., you make time for what you want. And sometimes you are not a priority to people. It doesn't mean you have to hang out with someone every day, talk to someone every day. It's impossible to do that, especially when you're growing and you are trying to advance in your life. You're working, you're in a relationship, if you have children, if you are getting another degree, if you are expanding in entrepreneurship. Like, there's so many things that are happening that really will require your time, which is okay. However, I've realized that the issue that people have is not necessarily making the plans, it's following up. So if you know that you have plans on Saturday and Saturday doesn't work, the next logical thing, in my opinion, is to think about when is a date that actually would work for you. Cancellations are okay, and trying to reschedule is also okay, but when you don't do that, it's kind of hard to connect. And what I've realized is that when that happens, right, you don't get a chance to see the person. And some people, you could not see them for a year. When y'all link, it's like nothing happened. And certain people, depending on the relationship, if you guys don't talk as often, it could kind of really like strain the relationship away. And I used to be that person, like follow up, check in, how you doing, da, da, da. Now I don't do that anymore. I don't, because I don't have the time for it. I'm at a place right now in my life where I want to be around people who genuinely want to be around me, right? I want to prioritize people who also prioritize me. And yes, I'll still check in and stuff like that, but it's just like there's certain things that may be of importance to you right now, and you want to focus on that, and that's what you need to do. Something that I've learned in therapy is that I don't accept people for who they are. Yeah, I don't. You know why? Because I'm always looking for the good. Hence, save the good girl. I'm always fighting to find something that's great within that person. And that's why I continue to stay and be frustrated and annoyed and upset, because I have expectations. They're not being met. And now I'm like, oh my God, da da da. Now I'm like, wait a minute. What if this person is really like this? What if this is really who they are? For real, for real. Like, I always think about people changing and growing. I think about myself, and it would be hypocritical of me to look at someone and not acknowledge their change. I don't want to hold someone hostage of how they used to be. So it's like I try to think about all of those factors, right? And that's why sometimes it's difficult for me to let someone go, because I'm like, I want to try to make this work. And what I've been doing lately, or thinking about lately, was that before I decide to not talk to someone or not communicate with somebody anymore, I like to make sure that I exhaust all measures first. And I want to make sure that I'm doing it from a logical place and not an emotional place, because I could be very upset with someone today, and after thinking about it, I'm all right. And I know in the past we talked about vulnerability. I'm going to have another episode about that coming up soon, because I feel like there's more to talk about vulnerability. But before I make some decisions, I always like to kind of talk to certain people to see their thoughts. I just want to make sure I'm not bugging, because you already know when we're emotional, sometimes we don't, we just kind of move really quickly. And then you talk to someone and they're like, well, what if you look at it this way? And you're like, oh yeah, maybe I should have not reacted in that way, But I'm at this place where, because of the changes, because of the growth, because of the fact that my life is not exactly where I want it to be. Like, I'm still working on things. I know we are always working on something. Like, no one is going to be at a perfect place, but as we're trying to advance within ourselves, we don't have time to focus on people who are not focused on us. No, we don't have time for that, because I want to be in luxury in all areas of my life. And I want to be nourished in the right way. And there are certain conversations that I don't care for anymore. It's like, I don't want to hear this, right? I talked about this briefly in my episode called Don't Take the Call. And I talked about that, where it's just about boundaries, and it's talking about how, sometimes you take the call and immediately after you answer that phone call, you're like, ugh, why did I do that? So I really want to feel good after I hang up the phone. And it doesn't have to be deep. We could talk about, current events. We could talk about certain things that are happening. If we both watching a show, like, I'm not, I want to make it clear, y'all. I'm not talking about us. We got to be deep all the time. I'm not talking about that. I'm more so talking about, there's just sometimes I think some people place high priority on things that, for me right now, it's just not. So therefore, I don't have interest in hearing it. And vice versa, they may not have interest in hearing me. So something that I've been doing, y'all, is paying attention to how people react when I speak, because I get very excited and I want to give people all the details, and I want to share everything. Like, oh my God, so I did this podcast and I'm doing these videos. I get excited. But what used to piss me the F off was sharing something and it's not being met with any follow-up questions. If anything, the person changes the topic really quickly and they're focused on something else, or they're on social media. I know y'all could tell when somebody's on the phone doing something else, because I can. When you hear, huh? What? Wait, what'd you say, girl? Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, okay. So, I do not talk about the podcast. I do not talk about my lifestyle page, Exquisitely Erica. If you guys haven't followed, please be sure to check it out. I do not talk about what I'm doing anymore unless people ask. You know why? Because for me, it is frustrating. I get frustrated, and it's like I can't really control how you're going to act, right? So therefore, I can only control myself. And I used to be very even, and I would prioritize my joy to share. Like, I'm excited. I want to tell you what's going on. And nothing is more crushing for you to be excited and for someone to respond in a very lackluster way. And it's like, oh, okay, well, anyways, girl, so let me tell you what happened. Oh my God, you saw on social media, such and such is arguing. And you see there's all this excitement for other things. But when it comes to you and your accomplishments and what you're excited for and what you're working on, so what I've learned is that I had to prioritize who I speak to about what. Because the even playing field with people, it doesn't work for me right now. You cannot talk to everybody about everything, and you can't expect to have a certain response from certain people. You can test it out. So if I'm having a conversation with somebody and I'm talking about the podcast and a show topic idea that I have, and I'm excited about it, and you're like, oh, okay, I guarantee you, I will not mention it again. If anything, I'll just say, yeah, I have a podcast. I release twice a week. Check it out. Go to SaveTheGoodGirl.com and you can check it out. Follow me on social media and check it out. But I'm not really giving you any details because you don't deserve that. However, when those people are going through something, they require all of the attention. They require all of the time. They will call you every single day. And after that problem they have is resolved, you don't hear from them. This may not happen all the time, but sometimes that can happen. And this is where I discuss the whole feeling of being drained. And this is where I discuss having your boundaries, because now this person dumps on you every day. And in that moment, you are prioritized because they got some things going on. Once that's resolved or solved or whatever, you don't hear from them. So what does that mean? You have to learn how to prioritize your conversations. You have to learn how to prioritize your expectations. You have to understand that people will make time for what they want. And if you are not what they want, that is okay. Move on to the next. I believe in diversifying your relationships with people, because people, they go through different seasons. They're in different spaces in their lives. And sometimes it may not be aligned with where you are. And that's okay for that moment. But I believe that we have to diversify. We need to meet people. You got to go to networking events and talk to people who are in the same creative space or mindset as you, because those conversations are different. I look forward to those conversations. I look forward to sharing my creative ideas with someone who's also creative. I look forward to sharing my thoughts about, I'm trying to think, my thoughts about business to somebody else who's business oriented, or my thoughts about God to somebody else who's also into that. So it's very different when you're actually sharing information with somebody who does share the same interests as you and the values are aligned, versus someone who just doesn't care. They just don't care about you. It's all about them. It's all about what they're going through. And once it gets to you, it's like, oh, okay, girl, well, I'll call you back. I'll call you back, girl. I don't want it. That's good, girl. Oh, that's good. Okay, you're doing this, you're doing that. So I was like, I just want to be around luxury in my entire life. And as you guys know, I talk about luxury a lot. And that's because of the background that I was from and, being around luxury products and wanting to have a luxury quality of life. And that includes the people that I choose to be in it. If I'm going to spend time with you, travel to see you, meet you at a coffee shop, talk to you on the phone, send you a voice note, email you, whatever, if I'm responding to you, right, is because I really want to. Because now this whole thing of feeling bad, which I used to feel bad, I'm not going to lie. I used to feel bad when I was setting boundaries and I'm like, damn, I don't want to ignore this person, but I have to for my mental space, for my creativity, for where I want to go. I got to prioritize me because ultimately you are always going to prioritize you because you're selfish. And to a certain extent, we all are. Me having boundaries is a bit selfish, and there's healthy levels of selfishness, right? So I feel comfortable in the space that I'm in because I want to nourish the right conversations and the right settings and the right mindsets. And I cannot constantly be around somebody who's just focused on them. It's draining, it's bliss, it's that, like, it's just never anything. Just, there's no good. There's no good. It just complaints. So prioritize yourself. And you know what? Prioritize those people who really do want to spend time with you. I encourage you to have an organizational method that works. The issue with people and making plans is that they're not organized. They don't know their week. They don't know what's going on. They have no idea. It's like all over the place. And I find that it really helps me to know what's happening in my week. Like, I already know what's happening for the month. And when I know what's happening for the month, when it comes to spend time with people, I know how I need to prioritize recording and doing my reels, doing my videos. I have a YouTube channel that I have to upkeep and all these things. So it helps me to understand what's going on and still spend time with people, have conversations with people, because that's important to me. I'm not about this whole not talking to nobody. I actually really do love and enjoy quality time with people, but I got to prioritize the right way, the same way they are. Prioritization and nourishment is where I'm at right now. And I'm finally at a place where I'm not that angry anymore, because I used to be very upset. And I used to feel like this person talks to me and I'm giving them all this great advice, but when I talk to them, they ain't saying nothing. And I had to learn that some people really just don't know what to say. I know that God gave me a gift and an ability to listen to someone and respond immediately with something thought-provoking and deep and, giving advice, but not everyone can do that for me. So I had to look at everybody individually and decide where I want to be. What do I want to do? Can you spend time with this person every day, or not every day, but for the whole day and be fine? Or do you need a couple of hours? This is where you have to identify what's going to work for you, because you have to prioritize everything that is going to enhance you to become a better person. You have to nourish your soul and your mind and your goals. And if the environment is not exactly where it needs to be, we have to edit, pivot, and decide, that's not for me anymore. I don't want to be a part of that conversation anymore. I don't want to spend time with this person, because whenever I do, I don't feel good. Think about that. When you hang out with this person or talk to this person, do you feel good? Do you feel nourished? Did you have a fun time? Was it fun? Was it exciting? Was it easy? Because that's where I'm at. I want to hang out with people that is easy. It's fun. It's light. And I have a couple of friends. I don't have to think much. It's just easy. We could be in silence and have a great time. We could be out and have a great time. It's just easy. So think about that, nourishing yourself, prioritizing yourself, and understanding that people will prioritize and nourish what's important to them as well. And you may not be it. I mean, I'm just being real. And if you're not it, that's okay, right? Pivot and move on to the next. And accept people for who they are. And I guarantee you, when you do, that's when people will start to act a little funny, like, why are you treating me this way? It's like, well, you've been treating me this way. I'm good. I'm chilling. Hello. listen to the podcast. I'm doing this. Bye. you know? So, guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think about prioritization and nourishment and the people that you're talking to, how you engage? Let me know on SaveTheGoodGirl.com in the contact section or on social media. I love talking to y'all, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts. But yeah, let me know. How you feeling about this? We'll talk next week. Bye.